How are y'all doing? I'm Greg Audell of GPA Productions, and on behalf of my co-producer Pearson Grimes, I want to thank you all for coming out. This is amazing to see this many people in this beautiful theater. And I just found out that the Alley Theater is over 60 years old. And it was started by an amazing group of Houstonians called Volunteers. And it was right around the same time, in 1950, that a group of volunteer students at the University of Houston started KUHF. And we're lucky to have over 100 sustaining members of KUHF here tonight. And it's because of them that Paula and Wait, Don't Tell Me and Garrison Keeler come into our homes each and every week. So thank you, and thank you for being here and supporting great live entertainment. I listen to NPR at home, in the office, in the car, just about everywhere. And we've got some really special people here tonight who tell me that it's a good companion for long hospital stays. Those are members of the Texas chapter of the Sarcoma Foundation of America. It's staffed completely by volunteers in Texas, and I ask you to look at the website in your program and go and check out the website and see if it's a group you might want to get involved with. They just work to make an unbearable journey a little more bearable for people. And just like last year, we're really proud to be working with the Friends of the Houston Public Library. They're the ones that are going to be in the lobby right after the show selling Paula's books and tapes. And a portion of all the money from the books and tapes stays right here in Houston. So buy. But even if you don't want to buy a book or a tape, you can still get an autograph or a picture with Paula. So feel free to meet us in the lobby afterwards. And we're lucky to have a representative of the National Friends of the Library here to speak with us and share some thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, Paula Poundstone.
To bring out like a librarian to talk. I didn't know that. I am actually the national spokesperson for Friends of the Libraries, although they're hard to keep up with this organization because they keep changing their damn name. It was Friends of the Libraries, and then they changed it to, I swear to you, Association of Library Trustees, Advocates, and Friends. Boy, that rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Can't tell you how many interviews I've done at 5 and 6 in the morning on the radio for the East Coast. I was doing it on the West Coast, and they said, "Oh, and what does ALTAF mean?" And I just say, "I'm not sure. Can't remember. It has something to do with libraries." Now they're changing it to Citizens for Libraries. I like that, because that sounds like we're taking up arms. I like that. Anyways, they're a volunteer organization that help raise money and awareness for our libraries, which, I don't know what's not to love about a library. It's got sex and crime and maybe long stocking, all under one roof. Well, hey, it's very nice to be here in the hellhole of America. Texas has, and so many people believe that, for example, that the earthquakes in San Francisco, people used to always say were, punishment because of the gays. And I just want to know how the religious community that has those kind of extremist thoughts rationalizes what's happened to Texas this summer. Beelzebub himself has come to fry with you this summer. And by the way, I had never seen your governor before. I saw, isn't there another way to get rid of him? I saw him in the wintertime. I happened to be stuck in a hotel room, and I was watching watching C-SPAN during the governor's conference in D.C., and so I watched him in a number of breakout sessions, and I had no idea, and it was stunning. All I can think is they choose their governor in a different way than the rest of us. We've been voting. I don't know what you've been doing, but I figure you have like a banquet, and whoever has a black spot on the bottom of their plate. Becomes the governor. Your history of what you've offered to the presidency. It's phenomenal. Have you had like the most, has Texas had like the most presidents of any state? The most nominees? The most what? Oh, the most hated? I don't know if that's entirely true. I mean, because clearly there's a number of Texans who don't share that view at all. It would just, how we got there. I heard him say to a kid, and it wasn't a press conference, I don't know, I just saw a video somewhere. I heard a kid ask him, and in fairness, the kid was like prompted by his mother. You could see, have you seen that video with the kid asking about evolution? And he says, well, that's a theory that's out there. And then that was the end of what I saw anyways, and I wish I had been able to hear the kid's follow-up question about gravity. So are y'all just doing away with the idea of science altogether? Is that... We've had similar problems, because California had one of those creationism things in California, one of those school districts that wanted to teach creationism as an equal notion to evolution. In fact, I believe what they finally settled on was not having a science class at all. Just at the end of the semester, they took the kids out to a lake and put them in a bag and threw them in the lake. And they decided that if God thought they were good science students, they would float. I'll tell you something. You gotta give America some credit, because we seem to, as the years go by, we become sort of more wildly divergent on both sides. It appears to me, anyways. And yet, we do pretty good together. You know what I mean? I mean, Congress doesn't demonstrate that, but you know what I mean? When we think about it, we're not throwing rocks at each other. There's not a lot of, I actually think we do fairly well, given that we're clearly becoming mentally unstable as the years go by. Maybe both sides. I'm never quite sure. By the way, just by way of, you can vote or support whoever you want. It's really not my business. By way of full disclosure, I'll tell you that I am an Obama supporter, but you don't certainly have to be. I don't. It doesn't matter. And it's not that I like everything he does either, by the way. I don't like it that he does talk shows, but that bothers me a lot. It just strikes me as unpresidential. And I don't know if you saw where Joe Biden is now touring the country in community theater productions of Oliver, which... I'll say this. I thought that people came down on Newsweek magazine a little hard for the picture of Michelle Bachmann on the cover because they felt that it made her look like a wild-eyed nutcase. And I'll say that, even a photographer has to put his arms down eventually. And the guy had a family that he had to get home to. And, you can only wait so long for someone not to look like a wild-eyed nutcase. Maybe they should have had a painting. I don't know. Yeah, I don't, and I know that I was watching online McNeil Air today. I was watching. What was it that I love? Mark Shields and David Brooks. I just love them. And they were talking about Libya, and that they were saying that they thought it was fascinating that Obama hadn't been given credit for the, I don't know, success, I guess, with the mission in Libya. But Marshall said he thought it was because with the economy being bad, no one thinks about anything but the economy. And I suppose that's true. The thing is, I don't think that much about it because I don't have a clue about the economy. You know what I mean? I mean, I think like, oh my, I think like, oh, it's scary and bad, but I don't have any idea, like about, it's just not my area. I don't even have a savings account because I don't know my mom's maiden name. And apparently that's key to the whole thing right there. I go in every few weeks to the bank and guess. I go right up to the teller. I go, gee, I don't know, Jones. I'm hoping WikiLeaks gets a hold of it. Really my only possibility. Every time I use my credit card, I'm broke, I don't have any money. Every time I use my credit card, I'm terrified that, they're gonna cut it up, or that Susie Orman's gonna jump off of my Is she the scariest thing you've ever seen in your life? She has the largest mouth of any human being I've ever seen. Girlfriend! She's a Guy Smiley. Do you remember Guy Smiley from the Muppets? Like his jaw started way far back on the felt. But he was happier. He had more of an upbeat about the economy. Guy Smiley. He was the game show host on Sesame Street. If you're not going to do your viewing, I don't see how I can help you. I was just in Fairbanks, Alaska. I think it was a week and a half ago. I spent 24 hours in Fairbanks, Alaska. I got in around midnight. I ordered a pizza, and the pizza delivery person was a Russian immigrant. And all I could think was, Sarah Palin must have stepped away from her kitchen window for me. Came to my door and said, how the hell did you get here? I didn't see Russia the whole time I was there, and I was, looking. I didn't see. I went on a dog sled. It was the coolest thing. I went to this little place. It was called the Yukon Quest, which is apparently it's the headquarters of a race that they hold there, a dog sled race. And I just sort of stumbled in, and somebody came up to me. And it was summertime, so there's no snow. It's really hard on the dogs. Well, they have parks for the summer, for them to stay in shape, I guess. And I was on a dog sled with, it was 12 dogs. I have 16 cats, and so I've been making a little harness. Because if those dogs could do it, I'm sure my cats could do it. I have 16 cats, and it is just as disgusting as you might think. I hate cats. I'm so sick of sifting some days, I'm telling you. Actually, I have a callus on my hand from sifting. I sift 4 times a day. It's the first thing I do in the morning, the last thing I do at night, and it's a constant worry on my mind. Sometimes I'm not even home, and I still just kind of go like this. People think it's Parkinson's. I say, no. 16 cats. I didn't mean to get 16 cats, really, because every time I tell people, they kind of draw a breath with a little bit of judgment and go, how did you get 16 cats? I can tell you exactly how I got 16 cats, which is I had 15, and I got one more. Whenever anybody asks me that question, I think, you must have gone to Santa Monica schools. All right, so we live in Santa Monica, California, and the school system has not been what I might have hoped. California used to be, Southern California used to be considered like one of the bright lights of education in the whole country. And I gotta tell you, man, the lights have gone out. It is bad. I got an email last year, a mass email from the high school that said, what did it say? It said the year before, I got this email in December, it said the year before, there had been 19 drug busts at our high school all year. And it said there had already been 32 by December that year. And I actually read that same data in a word problem in my kid's math assignment. said last year there were 16 drug busts all year. This year 32 by December. What the fuck? California's having to change their word problems in math for the new reality. They have one that says Bob's been out of work for 10 months. How much longer can he hold on? It's the new math. It's not good at all. I spent a lot of time trying to help my kids with, they're not homeschooled exactly, but practically, because the San Marcos schools have not been what they should have been. I've been working on fractions with one of my older kids, and it's grueling, by the way. And I tweeted something about it the other day, and somebody tweeted me back and said that they had not in their adult life used fractions very much, and they felt that it was sort of a waste of my time. And I think they thought I was doing something more sophisticated than I was doing, so I tweeted back to them, and I said, we're working on halves. Which I think she might need in the event of a messy divorce.